Welcome back, guys, to another live stream. My name's Mike, aka Decimal Punked, and we are back in the Unreal Engine 5.5.4. Welcome to the stream, and this is my space game, C.E.S.A.R, Celestial Engineers Search and Rescue. Those of you that have been following the stream have seen all the kind of work that we've been implementing. It's coming along really well. Really happy with the progress. Last stream we got the creature to basically follow the player, and then when it enters the center area over here, it will basically enter the portal, update a certain boolean, and register that it's kind of been rescued. So this stream is going to be a few different things. So we're going to be checking the wing condition. So for that, what I need to do is basically copy the work that I've done on the the Gekanda character. Make sure that it mirrors the same on the other three creatures. Once that's done, we'll be able to basically find all the creatures, rescue them all, and test that the win condition is met. I've also done a slight change to the portal in the center of the map, the texture. And I've also created a separate texture because you can see in the middle of the map here where we've got the nav mesh, there's basically a gap between the glass panes. And that's just meant to be like a little kind of portal that sections off the center of the map. I've also got a sound for the fan. And yeah, so there's a few things to do. So I think what I'm going to start off with is just bring in the updated. I think I've got a much better thingy compared to this, so you can see that texture going up there. So what I'm going to do is go into my materials, and I'm just going to bring this in, so it should look better than that. Here we go. Look at that. That is much better. That's much better than what it was. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the portal texture. I'm just going to increase the speed on that to 0.9. And see how that looks. There we go, look at that. Compared to what it was, the one before was just something I quickly whacked up in Photoshop, but I basically took the base color of the portal and I just basically played around with it in Photoshop and added a motion blur going vertically, and it's given us those really nice striped lines. So that isn't using the Niagara system. The only thing I've got in game that is using the Niagara system is the hanging particulates. So we've got, you know, we've got like a kind of animated teleporter there. We can even increase that a little bit more, so we can do 1.3 and just see how that looks. And I'm wondering if we were to add what 0.2 on there, I don't know how that would look, if it would like spiral. Oh wow. So if we did 0.05, if we actually simulate that, you see that effect we've got. I think I prefer it just going vertically, actually. Yeah. Keep it simple. Okay, so I've brought in the imported portal. If I bring in the other one, which is meant to go between the glass panes, we can actually tick off another little job on the list. God, we've got so many folders open. So we've got the portal, we've got the material there. If I just bring in the barrier, if I copy that and paste it and call it as M barrier, we can close the portal one. I'm happy with that. So if we open up barrier, and then if we, oh, that's really annoying. Barrier. So with this one, we'll see how it looks. I'm not sure how it's going to look. It's not meant to be a hostile portal. It's just meant to be like a similar thing to that. So I don't actually know how thin. Okay. Right, so what I'm going to do is I am going to if I just click on here, yeah, we've got the material slot. Okay, so if I just save, and if I add a plane, if I turn off the nav mesh, rotate it 90. Scale of it should be 3. Okay. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, that is perfectly in the gap. You can't even see it. Yeah, I've got that perfectly in the gap there. Okay, so we're going to rename this as barrier. And then double-sided. I want it to be double-sided material. There should be two-sided. There we go. And then on the barrier, where we've got the material, if I put in barrier, three and two. There we go. So I can obviously rework that. That looks shit. Let's go 0.5. Okay, that's too fast. Go 0.1. I think that'll do for the time being. I'm very happy with the central portal. But for a simple barrier, I think that does the job, guys. So what we're going to do is save that, close the barrier material. I need to close all these. Alright, so I'm gonna move that there, and we're gonna go 0 and then 300 and then 0 0 300 and then that's going to be minus 300, and there we go. We'll have the barriers leading through. So I can change that texture if I at any point I can just change the way it looks. It's just to give like a simple kind of barrier looking effect. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude, really? Right, let me just turn off. if we do no collision, then we should be able to just walk through that. Yeah. I think that'll do for the time being. We've got a portal in there. I'm happy with the central portal new texture. I think I'm going to leave that as it is. And then these barriers. I mean, it might look good actually if they're a similar colour to the central, the green. If they were like that same green colour. Let me just see. Let me just quickly, I can quickly change this. Oh my god. Oh, I like that one. So colour, blend mode colour. Basically kind of the same as the hue. I think I'll go for hue. Rasterize that. Portal. Barrier. Save. Close. Close Blender. And then if I literally, all I need to do is drop in the barrier. That looks so much better than the red. Because you've already got the red from the outside, and that green is basically the same hex code as the emissive in the center of the map. Okay, so I'm gonna save all. I'm just gonna go in there actually. So that's 0.2. 0.2. So that's 1. Point 2. Okay, I think that will do. So yeah, probably have a sound effect maybe for passing through those. I'm not sure at the moment. I don't think it needs it. Maybe like a whoop, 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 like a kind of sci-fi thing. Welcome to the stream, Mary. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for the spam view. So there we go. We've got a barrier. Oh, that's cool how he just... Oh, that's cool. You see that? How he passes through it. That's actually quite cool. Yeah, so I think because of the way the material is with the panner node, we can't have it really being truly emissive like the inner green of the portal is. But that's not a problem. I think it looks nice. It's the same hex code as the inner portal, the emissive. So if we had a sound effect for passing through it, I think that would that'd be quite nice. So I'm happy to tick that off. I'm just going to put in the sound effects for passing barrier, sound effects for creature rescued, plus VFX. Okay, so I can tick off the VFX task from tonight's stream because we've literally just done that. Right, so we've got win condition, sound effects, creature behaviour trees. What I have now, if we get the ventilation fan in, that might be a nice simple task. So I'm going to just plug that in quickly. So I'm going to drop in my ventilation fan sound effect here, and if I just play it, bit hard to hear, but it is there, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to save, I'm going to create a queue, and I'm going to call this SQ fan, and we're going to move that to the queues folder. Go into that, we're going to double click it, bring it up here, multiply the volume. This is going to be the sound effects sound class. What do we need to do? We need an attenuation setting for this. So basically that's the attenuation setting that affects distance from the player to the object. So the closer you are, the louder it will be. The further away you are, the quieter it becomes. So we'll create one for that, and we'll call this fan. If I just check these attenuation settings, so 450, 2750, 452. Okay, we'll see how it sounds. Okay, so on here, where we've just created the attenuation, sound attenuation, we're going to drop that onto the fan sound. I'm just going to pause the stream music. And if we click here and do looping, and what I'm going to do is do a modulator. That seems to be messing it up. Okay. Right, I'm going to stop that. And then, so that's the cue for the fan. So sound classes, sound effects, and then we've got the attenuation. If we go into the blueprint for the door, just go that. So if I open up the fan, you want event begin playing. So this is for the fan. Now interesting. That's interesting, isn't it? Because on the cue for the fan, we've set the attenuation setting as the fan, but then when we play the sound at location, like we know that it's set to looping. So if I click on it, see looping's been ticked. So we know that's going to constantly tick. So on event begin play, the fan plays, sound cue fan, attenuation fan. So let's test this. I want him to go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, on the attenuation settings for the fan, I'm going to say 1500 because it can be heard too far away. He saw me through the gap. He saw me through the gap, guys. I'm just going to turn up the volume on the fan just to 4. I'm just listening. So it basically stops about here. I like that. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay. Let's go back to that blueprint. Alright, so we can tick off the sound effects job for that, for this stream. Okay. So the VFX portal center of the map is done. Rework the portal texture is done. VFX barrier before the portal is done. We've got the sound effects of the fan done. So I'm just ticking off the jobs. I've got loads of little notes for this project, guys, so I'm just ticking them off as I go. Okay. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply the same logic to the other three creatures. At the moment we've got Gakanda done, but we need to add in the logic so that all four creatures have the same follow the player. When we get to the center area, they beeline towards the portal. They update the player's variable to say they've been rescued, and then they will disappear. If there is time, I do actually want to start on the HUD, because when a creature is rescued, I'm going to have like a little icon. I've done this in a previous project where I basically had I had like an icon, almost like a collectible log. So you have like a silhouette of the object, and then when you've collected it, it shows in colour. So I was going to do something similar for that on the HUD. And I can create the portraits and things. Also need to obviously make the health bar and implement that. So all little tasks, but there's not too much to be done, to be honest, in that sense. Okay, so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to close Bearcoon. So let me just have a look at the code. Okay, I think this was the only bit that I added in. Portal reached, portal location. Oh my god, hold on. Yeah, there it is. That code. Okay, so all of this doesn't get changed. The only thing that I'm adding So we're going to be mirroring this. Okay, let me just make, I need to make a little list of this. Okay, so BP portal, add add branches for 3 other creatures. Oh, sorry, dude. Hey, still needs work. Sorry, dude. I'm deep in blueprints. I wasn't looking at chat. Sorry, I missed your message. Welcome to the stream. I'm doing very good. How are you? Sorry, I'm deep in like behaviour trees and stuff. So I've got a lot of tabs, and I'm just making notes of the steps I need to replicate for the other 3 creatures in my game. I'm just making sure I don't make any errors and everything's fluid. Okay, so, but yeah, welcome to the stream. Are you a first time viewer? I feel like I remember your name. BP creature name. We need to add in add code for on component begin overlap portal. Oh, nice, dude. Well, welcome back if you are a returning viewer. I don't know if you've seen this project that I've been working on. If you give me a moment to just implement this code for my other creature, I can actually just show you. There's quite a lot of work that's been done on this. Been smashing it the past few days. Right, so we're going to add in the logic here for this creature we're about to implement. So we add the branch on there, and then under the blueprint for the creature itself, we're just adding in the code here under the controller, creature controller. We are adding portal triggered event plus 2 keys, portal reached, portal location. Yeah, I'm not sure how long you'll be around, but it won't take me long to. I can copy and paste this code, and once I've done that, I'll basically test it in game to make sure that the logic works. Right, so we're copying this custom event with those 2 keys: portal reached, portal location, and then under the blackboard, we are adding portal reached boolean and portal location vector, and then on the behavior tree mirror flow. Okay, so I've got my steps. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into Bearcoon, which is a weird creature. It's kind of a bit of a cross between a rat and Sonic the Hedgehog and a bear. It's really weird looking, but they're all meant to look like alien creatures. They're not meant to look of Earth, so it's all groovy. Okay, so what I need to do, what step should I do actually? If I add, let me just sort out the flow for this. So if I go into the blackboard first, add in the keys. Once the keys are done, we can go into the creature controller and add the portal triggered custom event. Then we would go into the creature blueprint to trigger that custom event, and then we'll do the behavior tree and then finish it off with the portal. So I've got a 4 step flow there to replicate. So blackboard, so we're going to open up the behavior tree for Bearcoon. We're going to go to the blackboard, and we're going to add a new key, and this is going to be a Boolean, and this is going to be portal reached, default value off, and then a vector key, and this is going to be portal location. If I just check on this one, default value 000. 000. Yeah, we'll just put that in. So default value 000. Save that. So add the keys, portal reached, making sure the spelling's correct. Okay, we've done that. So now we're going to go into the controller for Bearcoon. And what we can do, we can basically just copy this. Put that there. So I'm going to delete that and that. Just check. So the default value is portal reached, and the portal location is just portal location. So we're going to promote that to a variable. So this is going to be portal reached. Compile. We'll click that. So portal reached. Ugh. Right, so portal reached. So you have to have the default value at the bottom there, or else there'll be problems. And then with this one, it's going to be portal location. And then we click on that and put in portal location. So that mirrors that exactly as we need it to. Okay, so add the portal triggered and the 2 keys. Done that. Now we go on the creature name, so this one, and we're adding the code from component begin overlap. So I should be able to copy this, go to Bearcoon, paste that there, get off of that, change this to Bearcoon controller, portal triggered. Okay, so now what we've got is when our bear creature overlaps with the portal, then we trigger the custom event in there, which sets portal reached and the location. So now what I need to do, if I just save all, I need to go into the behaviour tree for the bear, and essentially we need to mirror what's going on here. So I wonder if I can copy that and paste that to, because the keys are going to be the exact same. I should hopefully be able to just copy that. And paste that. Oh. So if I do that. Okay. So what we need to do is just have this as well. So this goes, it's just basically like a gateway blocker. So if the portal if the portal hasn't been reached, we go down there. So it's basically saying portal reached is not set, so it's false. If portal reached is false, it will go down here. And a condition for this is that it will just go for the portal. So I think if we just look at that, yeah, I think that's it. So now what we do is we go into BP portal, and essentially what's going on here, when a creature, so all the creatures have a tag. So if I go on Bear Coon, click on the top part of the hierarchy there, and if we put in tag, you see they've got the creature tag. So Gekanda, he actually has two tags. He's got creature, so he's got creature, and then Gekanda. So what? Oh, let's just right. Sorry. So Gekat creature and Gekanda. So if I come off of there, go to Bear Coon, put in tag, we'll add one and call this Bear Coon. Welcome back, dude. Creature Bear Coon. So now we go to the portal. So if we look at the flow here, the first thing that happens with a creature overlapping the portal is we check that they have the tag creature. If that's true, we then check the name of the creature. If the name of the creature is Gekanda, then we say Gekanda's been saved. We say they're no longer escorting, we destroy the creature, and print string just for debugging, so we know that the boolean's been updated. So what we're going to do, off of the false, we're going to have another if, another branch, okay? Because what we need to do is each time we rescue a creature, we know it's going to be a creature, but if it's not Gekanda, it's going to be one of the other creatures. So that's why we're going to have 4 of this bit of code here. So we're going to copy this and plug that into there, and we're going to say, okay, is it Bear-kun then? That's the condition. And if that's true, we're going to set Bear-kun, set Bear-kun saved to true. We're gonna do that as well. I'll just bring that down a touch. And we can just plug that in there. And then actually, I don't need to add all this extra code on because the flow is the same. We're just basically saying if it's this creature, say that this creature has been saved. And then we're going to do this all creatures save check, which is up here. This is the win condition. So yeah, we check the win condition, we then say that they're no longer escorting, and then we destroy the thing. So if I actually just get rid of that and just go straight into that as well, because this isn't unique to this part. This just does the check for the win condition. This allows the player to loot again. This kills the creature once we've done the previous code of just updating the boolean. But actually, tell a lie. We do. Okay, what we should do then is, just so we know that the code's working, yeah, what we'll do is just so we know that the code's working, guys. Right, I think that's gonna work. I've been very cautious there. Let's give it a test. So we're gonna be able to save Gekanda and Bear-kun. So let's find the creatures and test it works. So we're expecting Gekanda's saved. String append. So that's Gekanda. And then this one is Bear-kun. So if we just plug that in there, and then that goes into that, that goes into there, that goes into that. Okay, here we go. Let's simulate. So we need Bear-Coon and Gekanda. What I can do actually. If it's one of the other creatures, what we'll do is we'll just reset. Okay, so that's Gelatino. We don't want that one. So at the moment it's 50-50 chance that we'll get the one that we want. So there's 4 creatures and we've got code implemented for 2. Okay, Gekanda. Let's go. So what's going to happen is he'll come through this portal, and then the moment he goes through, he should beeline it. Beeline it to, there we go. Gekanda true. That just popped up. So I'm now going to go this way. Get another one. Hopefully it will be Bear-Coon. Oh, perfect. Okay. Alright, so we go through here. And he's going to beeline it. Bear-Coon false. Why did it say Bear-Coon false? What? Oh. Oh, you numpty. I plugged in the wrong one. It was taking the false output of this one. Oh, let's try it again. So Bear-Coon saved. Let's try that again. So let's get Bear-Coon. Kawaii? What does kawaii mean? I'm actually going to just do it until we get Bear-Coon. Bear-Coon is the one that we just want to test. It's typical. When I was testing this last night, I wanted Gekanda, but I was getting everyone else but Gekanda. It's Octo-Nymph. We don't want that one. Gelatino. Just want to check that the Boolean's been correctly working. Once we've spawned Bear-Coon, taken him to the center of the map, we'll implement the logic for the other 2 creatures. There we go. Follow me, my pedigree chum. There we go, Bear-Coon true, perfect. And then we know in here that once all 4 of these conditions have been met, game's complete. So then we would implement the win screen for the player. Okay, so both of those creatures are done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate the same process for the other creatures. The other 2 creatures, and then what we'll do is we'll do an overall test for all 4 creatures to meet the win condition of the game. So I'm going to close Gekanda controller, Gekanda blueprint, and the behavior tree. So we just need those 3 open. So save all, have a sip of my coffee. Hope you're enjoying the stream, guys. Okay, so Bearcoon, Gekanda, Gelatino. Let's do Gelatino. So the first step is to, if we just open up what we need, so blueprint for him, the controller, and the behavior tree. So the first step is to add the keys portal reached and portal location to Gelatino's blackboard. Right, so this is portal reached. By default is off, and then we're going to add portal location, and we're going to key type, and we say it's 000 as default. We save that. Now we go on to the creature controller, and we're basically copying this Gelatino controller. So I'm going to paste this just here, and this is portal reached. So promote to variable, click on that, paste that, compile, select it, default value, compile, and then let's go to this one, copy portal location, promote to variable, select that, do that, compile, do that again, default value, compile, save, move that down there. So default, yeah, lovely. Okay, so we've done the creature controller, compile, save. Now we're going into the creature name itself, so I can just copy, oh yeah, copy that, we'll just put that there, and then we're going to be going on to the Gelatino controller, okay, so we've gone in there, we've added in the code for component begin overlap with the portal, and then whilst we're in here, we're just going to add the tag Gelatino. Now what we need to do is go to the behavior tree and mirror the code. So we can copy this from Bearcoon and we can paste that there. And then get this one and put that there, plug that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think that's it, really. Now we need to go on here and add in the section. So if that's false, do an if. Copy that. Plug that into there. And we're checking if it's gelatino. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to do 2 tests here. Once I've implemented the remaining creature, which is Octonymph, once I've implemented that, I'll first test that the win condition is shown to screen, and then afterwards I will remove all this extra bit here, like here, and we'll just have the one line of code, this bit here, so it tidies up the code. So we're going to destroy that actor. Okay. I think that's all plugged in. Let's just check. Okay, that's gelatino done. So I can close Bearcoon, Bearcoon, Bearcoon. So now we just need to do the same for the last creature, Octonymph. So we're going to open up the blueprint for Octonymph, the controller for Octonymph, and the behaviour tree. So the first step is to add the Boolean key for portal reached. 1 second. Yeah. Sorry, portal reached. Key type default is off. Then we're going to add a vector key for portal location. We're going to click that. We're going to click the key type, default value 000. We're going to save those keys. Now we go into the creature controller and we're going to copy this, go to Octonymph controller, and we're just going to put this just here, delete that and that, straighten that, and then if I just copy that name, promote to variable, do that, compile, and then default value, do that. So portal reached, and then on this one, portal location, copy that, promote to variable, compile, I'll just move that down there. So we've added in the custom event for that happening. Now add portal trigger event plus 2 keys, done that. So now we're going to the creature blueprint itself, and we copy this and paste it here, and then we get Octo Nymph controller and target portal event, compile, save. So Octo Nymph controller, and then whilst we're in here, we're going to type tag. We're going to add a tag and call this Octo Nymph. Compile, save. Add the tag. Now we need to go to the behavior tree. And copy that. Paste that there. We'll just move this down. So that goes there. And then we need the gateway blocker, which is this one. We paste that there. So it goes to that, and then it goes to that. Save. And then we need to go to the portal blueprint. Okay guys, we've implemented the same logic for all 4 creatures. So now what we can do is we can play test the whole game from start to finish, and what we're expecting to happen once we've escorted 4 creatures to the center of the map, we're expecting to receive this message, top left in cyan, game complete. And then we know that the win condition has been met. So provided that functions as expected, we can then go into here and basically tidy up this code. Alright, so now we're going to do a playtest. Save all. That's one done, so I should be able to loot another one now. Okay. Is that gelatino? Dude, I'm trying to line of sight my little buddy. Okay, gelatino's done. Last one. He's over there, mate. Yes, the code works. Top left, we just got the game won. Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So what we can now do is tidy all this code up. So essentially, if we look at the top line of code, all of this stuff remains here. Okay? But all of this would basically go back up to the top. So because you can see here, this this custom event is checking that the player the win condition has been met. This allows the player to loot again. This destroys the creature, and this is just so we know that it's working. So we can get rid of these print strings. We can get rid of that. Okay. Right, so now that we've tidied up that code, we now need to test it again. It should work. We're not going to get a print string debug updating us that the boolean's been changed. We know that's happening in the background. But what we're expecting to see is once all 4 have been rescued, once all 4 have been rescued, we're expecting to see this message, game complete. So let's test it again. Right, let's get Kanda, so 3 more. Right, 2 more. And Octonymph is the last one, so when he goes through the portal, top left we should see game complete. There we have it, guys. We have the escorting and the logic in there for the win condition of the game. So that is really, really nice. That's fantastic. What was I thinking? Okay, so that is the win condition done then. No errors, no nothing. So if I can just get rid of that actually, those notes I've just made. Right, main component going over that, custom event for add to backboard, that's done. Win condition. Win condition, creature behavior, win condition, creature behavior trees. Okay, right. So guys, I've achieved what I set out to do. I've literally this stream. What are we at? 1.5 hours into the stream. We've updated the central portal texture, so you can see. Welcome to the stream side. There you go. I've updated the texture on the portal, so that looks a lot better than it did yesterday. We've got these this texture I've made. I think that'll do for the time being. I may rework that one. I'm definitely happy with the center portal. I may rework this, but is quite obvious. It's like a force field of sorts. So, yeah, I've literally, I don't know when you just tuned into the stream, but I've literally just tested the logic, and I've escorted all 4 creatures to the central portal. Each one that's rescued, the Boolean's been updated. I'll show you the code. So it's all there. I've tested it twice, and it all works. And we got this little lovely message: game complete 2 times. So the whole logic from finding a creature, searching for a creature, spawning a creature, and guiding it to the center of the map, repeating that same process 4 times, has resulted in the win condition for the game being met. So the next task is, as you can see on the portal, on the HUD, I need to do the health bar, I need to have a proximity sensor, and I need to have a kind of collection log thing. This is basically the HUD. So it's basically stamina bar and health bar, same size, and then to the left of that is going to be kind of like the creature collection bag, and then to the right, was going to be the proximity sensor. So I plan to have, there's basically logic for when the player loses a creature. So you guide them. The creatures move at a slower rate than the player, but basically, if the player was to move too fast from the creature, it stops following you and its retreat logic kicks in. And it's different for the 4 creatures. I'm not going to show you the written document because it was for university, but I can talk you through them. So the first creature being Gelatino, his logic, he's quite a funny one actually. When he loses the player, he finds the nearest lootable actor and will basically transform and mimic that actor, and then it will move to that actor's location, and then it will stop. So that's a little bit of a challenge, because what it means is the player, if they lose track of it, they need to, if they're familiar with the level, they should be able to spot it, but it's going to make it quite funny. Next up is Gakanda. So he basically will find a random location in the nav mesh, move to that location, he'll wait for 5 seconds and perform a panic animation and then repeat that. Octonymph's logic is to find a random location, move to it, and wait for 3 seconds. Now with Octonymph, he's a flying one, so he's going to be quite difficult. If the player loses Octonymph, he moves at the fastest rate on the retreat logic. So if you lose that one, you might have a bit of a hard time, and also given the 3 second wait before it will kind of move again. And then Bearcoon, he moves quite fast. He does the same kind of logic as Gelatino, basically. No, as Gakanda, but he moves faster. So Gelatino's retreat speed is standard, as is Gakanda. Octonymph's is the fastest, and then second fastest is Bearcoon. So the question is, what do I do now? Because I've done the kind of what I set out to do for the stream. I could probably go for another 2 hours. Let me just close those down. I feel like I want to get the HUD element worked out, and also I'm thinking if we basically the HUD icons will be based on the creatures being collected, checking the player's Boolean states. So if that happens, we'll basically trigger a custom event. Yeah, well, I'll see how it goes. It's the 4th of April. Deadline's end of this month. I'm gonna, once I've dropped the kids back Sunday, I'm gonna have loads of time to smash out this. So basically, we need to implement the logic for the creature losing the player's. Creature losing the player, because they have 3 branches. They have follow the player, lose the player, and being captured. The robot has 4 different things. It has patrol, investigate a noise, attack the player, capture a creature. And there's 2 robot types. So I think what I want to do now is I want to put in the portraits. I don't have the portraits at the minute, but what we can do is at least Okay, so in this code here, I don't want to have an on-tick event. I don't want to have an on-tick event that will just check all the time. Oh, is this met? Is this met? I want to have a custom event from within the HUD where I can call that, and I'll basically say, I'll name it as something like update creatures found. So we can trigger that each time a creature is done here. So I mean, I could quickly make the portraits. Yeah, we just need to think about the... Right, let's get the HUD up. Right, so that is the stamina bar. What's the length of that? 500. And I feel that's a nice... It's not too in your face. That's a nice clear bar, and with the health as well. I feel that's a decent size, and then with the health bar above that, the same size. And with a 4 grid layout. I don't want to move it over this side here or over there. I want it to be kind of just clustered in the middle, so all the information you need is literally just a quick glance down instead of your eyes just moving all over the screen looking at different panels. Stack box. Okay. Layout panel allowing child widgets to be automatically laid out. So that is anchored to the bottom. So if we were to anchor this now the stack box, it said, flows vertical or horizontal. Arrange widgets left to right or top to bottom. That might be better. When the widgets exceed the wrap size, it will place widgets on the next line. Maybe that might be better because the stack box, the orientation is locked to horizontal and vertical. So I'm going to get rid of the stack box. And we're going to go for a wrap box. Anchor that to the bottom. Do that. 0.5, 0.5. Right, how big is that one? It's 30 high. So if we made that 60. Left to right. I want it to be square shaped. It's basically when I put in the portraits, you're going to need the frame because I need to design that in Photoshop. I'll probably do that off stream, guys. I don't want to do it on stream. I think I'll just do that off stream. Size X. You don't want to be too small. 60 by 60 is just going to be way too diddy, I feel. Like if we did 60 by 60, like that's... I just feel that's quite diddy. But that would be the right size for... Like if I play that, yeah, we're not going to see anything at the minute. That's 500, so that would be minus 250. Okay. So with that being a 60-60 box, that's going to be 30, 30. So the headshot portraits I'm going to make are going to be 30 by 30 in that diddy little box. So that was 500 by default. So if I say 30, or would that be 60? I guess that would be 60. So I should be able to just drop in an image for the time being. Okay, I'm just thinking about the design here, guys. Yeah, so if I had another bar that was the health above that, I just don't want the UI being too in the face. That is a very small size, but basically that box to the left of the stamina bar will have that we split into 4. So when you get a creature, it will update the silhouette. So we'll have a silhouette of the 4 creatures. And then when you've found one, it will turn into colour. That just feels very small. It's just making me wonder if Sorry, I'm just thinking, guys. Just give me a minute. Health bar above. It's a little bit tricky visualizing this without the frame, because we're going to have a nice frame that nestles all of this together. So yeah, I think what I'll do, I think I'll call the stream there, because it is getting late, and I have done what I set out to achieve tonight. So we updated the portal texture. We've now got these kind of force fields. We know the win condition. We've implemented the logic for the other 3 creatures. We know that that's working. I feel like what I want to do is get the HUD sorted. I want to jump into Photoshop and design the HUD. And go for something that's suitable for the stamina, the health, and the proximity sensor. So yeah, I've just got a little bit of work to do there, but once that's done, in the next stream I can basically implement that, because I'll have the frame for all of the HUD elements. I'll have the portraits done, so we'll be able to drop it all in, get that sorted, and then we can do some more work on the, what is it, the probably the creature losing the player, because having the proximity sensor there as well, that's going to work quite nicely. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the stream and you haven't already, feel free to follow on Twitch if you want to stay up to date. If you want to see any previous streams I've done, feel free to check out my YouTube. I've got playlists for Unreal, Unity and Blender. And if you want to play any games I've made, go check out my itch below. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next stream.